I want to show you guys something real cool. Sometimes it's the visions that you get for putting waterfalls, and in this one here I kind of worked with my son a little bit. We have pretty close to 50 waterfalls, and he says, Dad, they're all landscape waterfalls. Why don't you do something creative to show people what you can do with artificial rocks? So right now I just put this in. It's an addition onto our deck. It's only 8 feet by 12 feet onto a 16 by 16 foot deck. We kind of ran out of room because the rest of it is all waterfalls. But anyways, what this is going to be is a Tahitian Grotto Gazebo waterfall deck with a lazy pond underneath. So what we got going on here, and sometimes without the waterfalls you get to see something beforehand. Way up at the top, and that's not finished, is where the big grotto is going to go. Just the top piece. It's going to drop 16 feet down, and it's going to go through and in the back there, and I take great pride with my junk pile. It took many years to accumulate that, but right in position in here is going to be the big Tahitian waterfall. Each side of the Tahitian is going to be a huge accent bubbling rock, so it almost looks like a real cave in here. And then I'll probably have to put a decorative type of a finish in the back to kind of keep it more so the leaves from the oak tree don't get into it. But the meaning behind the lazy pond is, you go to amusement parks, you see the lazy river. This here is going to be a 12 by 8, and I'm hoping I can do it because with the oak tree there's a root coming this way, and I don't want to damage the root because I don't want the tree to go into my house if I take the big root out for this 12 by 8. And it's a big pond that usually is set up for spas and stuff. I don't tend to do the spa thing. I want the garden aspect of the pond, but it's a cool pond where you can actually sit in. So I'm going to turn this into a pretty cool waterfall garden with 2 different waterfalls, actually 4, and then it's all going to be positioned underneath this gazebo deck. And then on top of it, while I'm up there, I installed this real cool see-through, and you can barely see it, but from up on the top there, I can actually look down and I'll be able to see the top of my big Tahitian waterfall along with the rest of the stuff. And over on the left side will be will be more like a platform, so I can look down and see some of it. Up on the top, of course, the waterfall will go over my head, and of course on windy days the big Tahitian, not the Tahitian, but the grotto will be turned off. So there's going to be quite a cool layout of plumbing, all hard pipe. Probably on this pond I'll put a skimmer on there, so I'd like to have it where if I'm out working I can go in there and just lay around with the water and stuff cascading down over my head. So sometimes the visions and stuff are kind of cool before the actual garden goes in. But again, this is just a deck, and by the way, that whole entire deck came in my Honda Civic. It took quite a few trips, but it made it. And on top of it right here, that's the only little scrap that I had left. So every piece of wood went to good use, and it's going to look pretty cool with a waterfall coming is the gazebo top. The other part I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but the deck itself underneath is where I'm going to host all my different lighting. There'll be lighting on the main waterfall coming down, probably a couple white lights with a yellow and an orange light, and then the backdrop of the different accent rocks will have different colors, and then there'll be something else for the big Tahitian.